This presentation aims at demonstrating the simplicity of restoration with Time Navigator. To restore a file, we simply select the platform on which we wish to restore the file, for example Asterix. Next, we select the menu Restore and Archive Manager. We then have to authenticate ourselves by means of user authorized to connect on the system. The window Restore and Archive Manager displays the content of the disk system as it is at present. It is the 28th August, 17 hours 04. To see all the files from our server Asterix, we simply click on plus. Here the green triangle shows us that files are saved in a subdirectory. We just follow this marker until we see these little green balls. These indicate that this directory is backed up. The script's subdirectory is in this case backed up. The files are indicated in blue and the directories in brown. There are three possibilities of restoration with Tina. We can select the first file and view all available options. In this case, we have three restorable versions of this file. The backup dates of this file are the 7th, 14th, and 28th August 2009. The first mode, called synchronization, involves synchronizing on a specific version, for example the 14th August. We click on Synchronize and the system display automatically switches to the past, synchronized on the 14th August at 14 hours, date on which the file was backed up. The window only displays the files and directories which were backed up on that date. Now we simply need to select the file as shown and then proceed with the restoration. We can choose to restore the file in its original directory, but it is also possible to restore it in a different directory. We shall now proceed to the restoration in the temp directory of the S drive. Here we have to restore the volume as well as the number of files. By default, the system restores all data and attributes of files and directories. We simply click OK. The restoration window shows that it is in process. If we wish to have more details on the restoration, we can open the Job Manager window so as to view the restoration task in process. We indeed have an active restoration task on our system. The restoration is now complete. We have restored our file with the expected volume. It is possible to verify that it was restored as shown. Our file has been restored by Tina. We now switch to the present and shall execute the second restoration method, that is, switching directly to the past. We simply have to select an arbitrary date in the past. For example, the 17th August 2009, 19 hours. We are now positioned in the past at that particular time. The content shown represents the state of disk backed up on that date. As earlier, we click Restore. We can choose to restore the file in the same directory. If the file already exists, we can choose to replace or rename the existing file, rename the restored file, or not to restore the file under certain conditions. For example, we can choose to rename the existing file. Restoration is underway as before. The file has been restored and the file previously restored has been renamed. We shall now delete these and switch to the present. Finally, the third possibility. Restoring missing files. To restore missing files, we delete the scripts directory. We have to refresh the contents of the interface. We notice, as a matter of fact, that the scripts directory has disappeared. We now have to display the files which disappeared in the previous minute. In a matter of seconds, we can view all the files and directories which disappeared in the past minute. These appear in the shaded restoration window. We can select the entire directory by performing a recursive selection. Then right-click and restore. Insofar that we are in the present, the system will restore the most recent version for each of the files. We thus have 105 files to restore with an approximate volume of 3 megabytes. We shall restore these to the original directory. A third restoration task will thus be launched. Now we simply have to refresh the directory. The entire scripts directory is restored. We have 104 files plus 1 for the directory. Thank you for attending this presentation.